Hello, it's me again. Today's June the 20th, if I believe correctly. And I have more books again. I can't help myself. I'll get to that in a minute. This past week or so, I've received a few things of good news this past week. Um, I've now finally passed a few of some of the medical things that I needed to get. So that's good. And I'm now enrolled in a course to become a Justice of the Peace. I've now finished the final exam part, part one of the final exam, and I've passed it, and I'm just waiting to do part two. So that's, then once I've finished that and passed that, I will then be able to become a Justice of the Peace. Now, in the meantime, I have some books to share. These three came today, and I can't wait to read them. First one is The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie by Muriel Sparks. Some of you might be familiar with this one. Excuse me a minute. Oh, excuse me. Romantic, heroic, comic and tragic. Unconventional schoolmistress Jean Brodie has become an iconic figure in post-war fiction. Her glamour, free-thinking ideas, and manipulative. Sorry, excuse me, I can't even speak English. Her glamour, free-thinking ideas, and manipulative charm hold dangerous sway over her girls at the Marsha Blaine Academy, the creme de la creme, who become the Brodie set, introducing to a privileged world of adult games that they will never forget. The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie by Muriel Sparks. Next we have The Chant of Jimmy Blacksmith by Thomas Keneally. When Jimmy Blacksmith marries a white woman, the backlash from both Jimmy's tribe and white society initiates a series of dramatic events. Now, before I continue, let me just stress the fact that this is set at around the turn of the 20th century in Australian history. Jimmy Blacksmith is an Aboriginal man, and back in that time, about 1900, it's similar to American society in the fact that people of different races just did not mix. They did not get married to each other, and people who of different races who did get married to each other were seen as somehow wrong, which I do not condone that attitude. This is not my opinion. I do not condone this attitude. This is not. But this novel is historic, sort of from about that time. Anyway, I'll start again. When Jimmy Blacksmith marries a white woman, the backlash from both Jimmy's tribe and white society initiates a series of dramatic events, which is what happened back then. As Jimmy tries to survive between two cultures, tensions reach a head when the newbies, Jimmy's white employers, try to break up his marriage. Unfortunately, that sort of thing happened a lot back then. The newbie women were murdered and Jimmy flees, pursued by police and vigilantes. The hunt intensifies as further murders were committed and concludes with tragic results. Now, sadly, this sort of thing did happen again. Did happen a lot a century ago. The shortlisted for the Booker Prize and always included on lists of favourite Australian reads, Thomas Keneally's fictionalised account of the 1900 killing spree of half Aboriginal Jimmy Governor is the powerful story of a black man's revenge against an unjust and intolerant society. Now, I'm actually looking forward to reading this because of for many reasons, but yeah. Now, the third one, some of you may be familiar with, Mole Flanders by Willem Dafoe. With introduction by Freya North. Bold, beautiful, and brilliantly resourceful, Mole is ideally qualified to be the heroine of one of the first English novels, says The Guardian. These are the fortunes and misfortunes of Mole Flanders. Born in Newgate Prison, 12 years a prostitute, 5 years a wife, once to her own brother, 12 years a thief, and 8 years a transported felon to His Majesty's colony of Virginia. Daniel Defoe's rollicking tale presents life in the prisons, alleyways and underworlds of 18th century London and gives us Mole, scandalous, unscrupulous and utterly irresistible. Mole Flanders by Daniel Defoe. So there you go. 3 what appear to be quite interesting stories. Well, I must leave it there for now, I think. I have to go and prepare for tomorrow because I'm hosting some guests for the day, and I have to prepare. Good evening, and live with passion.